Alright, guys, welcome to the 4th episode, courtesy cast. Bubby's finally back from his orchestra. Just took 2 weeks to get him back.
I lived in Benaroya Hall. The cellist couldn't find me inside of his cello.
And we got Jesse and Jacqueline, of course.
Hello.
So, it's been a while since Endgame's been out. So, we're going to do a little bit of spoiler chats about that.
Let's do it.
All right, what do you guys think?
Jacqueline, want to start?
Oh, you don't want me to start.
Yes, we do. Now that you said
One
that,
thing
I totally do.
There's one thing I have to say about Avengers Endgame, and it's not about like any of the plot really. It's just about one particular character. Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Oh
Now,
my god.
I never saw the Doctor Strange movie because I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch. So maybe I'm not the best person to be talking about this. But if you remember the final fight against Thanos and his army, what the heck was Doctor Strange doing? Are you kidding me? He and the Chinese guy. What's the Chinese guy's name? I don't want to be like that. What's his name?
You know what? I don't really know.
Okay, he and the Chinese
like
guy
this.
came into the fight, and I think that the Chinese guy teleported them all there, right? He like brought all the other Avengers, and because you know he had the yellow glowing thing going, he brought them all there to fight, and then Doctor Strange just did what the whole time? He just went into the corner and played with the water. He just made a tornado while they were all like fighting Thanos. Are you kidding me? What is his power? What is he good for? How come everybody is fighting Thanos and like Ant-Man's huge and like punching down these like alien spaceships and stuff, and Doctor Strange is making a tornado? I hate tornadoes. He's making a tornado off to the side while everybody else fights. That made
The
me
best
so
part-
mad.
The best part is he didn't even use the tornado to kill anybody. He was just making
Yeah, it was just a tornado.
He did his best. That's all we can ask.
Well, like, he could see the future though, right? So he knew this is what he had to do. Maybe he was like, all I have
That's
is
so
making a
full
tornado."
crap. Okay.
He
So
saw the future to say, how can I make a tornado and not get yelled at? Something pretty bad would have to go on if I didn't
He's
get
like-
yelled at for making a tornado.
he's like, all right, there's 2 possible futures where we win. One of them is where we all fight together and we beat Thanos. And the second one is everybody fights Thanos except for me. I get to play with a tornado and we still beat Thanos.
That's what I'm
See-
saying. He knew.
The issue with that is he said there was only one possibility. So he had to make the tornado. There wasn't any other
yes!
choice. He goes to Tony, he looks in his eyes and goes, one chance. You see his finger fucking quivering, and he's still holding that tornado. Okay? Like,
Was
Yeah,
that
I hate
him
his
being like one
character.
chance? I thought that was
Yeah.
him being like, this is the one.
I thought he would. The tornado, the one?
When his finger was quivering, he was like one. I thought that was like one. This is it. We found the one. Not like, because he was like, I can't tell you earlier, because if I tell you, it's not gonna happen. But then he was
Yeah,
like,
no, you're
this
right.
is the one.
Well, I thought he
Well,
was
'cause
looking. Go ahead.
the reason why is because if he told Tony Stark that this is the one where they win, and that the only way to win is for him to sacrifice his life using the Infinity Gauntlet to kill Thanos and his army, then he wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah,
it got
because he'd be
down
giving
to it,
everything up.
and he had to do it, and he had no choice, that's when he was like, "This is it."
Yeah.
I personally thought that scene was really impactful. Like, when I know we're kind of shitting on Cumberpatch right now, but the amount of like
Cumberbatch.
the amount of like energy that he put in that quivering finger, you knew he was fucking serious. Like, you look at him, he's fucking one, and Tony's like,
Right.
oh yeah, he's right. It's this one.
Does he ever
It's so
not look
funny.
serious? Look at his ugly face. Does he ever not look serious?
So
Maybe
admittedly,
I'm being too harsh.
no, he's ugly, right? Like, I think he is ugly. But I do like his character. I will say that. I do like Doctor Strange a lot.
Remember that GIF I showed you, Jacqueline, of Benedict Cumberbatch trying to look cute? He's just so ugly.
You're killing me.
He's like biting his lip and everything and looking up at you like, oh yeah.
Oh,
But he's
that's-
just so ugly.
Was he doing it as Doctor Strange or as Cumberpatch?
No, he was just regular Benedict Cumberbatch.
Sherlock?
Wait,
Might
what?
have been Sherlock.
How do you do his last name? Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I
Cumberbatch.
thought you were. I
thought
thought
it
you
was
were
a joke,
joking.
because you call them like boiled eggs and cucumbers, and it's like it's fine. You know who I'm talking about. So I thought it was
Oh.
intentional. It's in fact
Boiled
I,
eggs.
I thought his name was
Cumberbatch.
Cumberpatch.
It's Cumberbatch.
Oh, I thought he was like a cucumber patch, like Cumberpatch. You know, like oh, that's a nice name. Probably a Dutch or something. I don't know. Like,
Oh God. Anyways, Fat Thor.
I thought the
Oh.
Big Lebowski was a great character until he stayed in the movie after he was funny.
yeah.
Yeah. And then like he was just like a drunk loser. Also, can we just talk about like when they put like hot, this is the coolest thing of the moment shit inside of like movies, like Fortnite was they were playing Fortnite. Like what happens when Fortnite gets dethroned and it's no longer the most popular video game?
Well, I
Like,
think
Then
it's
we'll be
Fortnite.
playing Apex.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but like what I mean is like they've already dated the movie. And I guess it's fair. I guess they were in 2019, they were playing Fortnite, they went back in time to 2014 and all that bullcrap. So maybe it works with the lore. But I kind of hate that. I kind of hate when they do that kind of stuff. When you date your film. You kind of want your film to be like, oh, this can be enjoyed no matter when you see it. But that's definitely a 2019 film.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. I didn't even think about that. Honestly, when I saw the Fortnite thing, I was just like, of course.
Yeah.
Because they got this
have the-
deal right now where you can play as the Thanos gun from Fortnite, or in Fortnite, excuse me.
I like playing as Thanos from Fortnite in Fortnite. You see, in Fortnite, you play as Fortnite, and it really makes you feel like Thanos.
Thanos from Fortnite for Smash.
I kind of disagree with you, Jacob. I feel like when movies, not like when it's only a couple references that are really like not like the entire movie or very integral to the plot, but when they kind of date themselves in that way, I feel like it kind of makes a different experience watching it in the future. You go back and you're like, oh my gosh, this movie's so old. Do you remember that? Instead of like, wow, what a 2019 movie. I mean, it's kind of like in a good way to me.
I see
That's
that.
true. But I like how a lot of 80s movies went for the future kind of thing. Right? Like what they expected the world to be like in 2019 or 2010 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not anything like that. It's interesting to see what people of the past thought of the future or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just dating it at the present or whatever.
Can I go off on something and change the subject real quick?
Sure.
So, I really love quantum physics, and I read a lot of articles on it almost every day, right? And not that I expect movies to be accurate because it's still a field that's being researched, but
Right.
the writer, it sounded like someone just said, how do we go back in the past? What's relevant today? Quantum physics. Okay, cool. Quantum physics. And I didn't know Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm. I don't watch Ant-Man. I've never had
Yeah.
interest. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so this is what happens in Ant-Man 2.
Okay.
It starts, and then it ends, and he's in the quantum realm. That's literally all you need to know. That movie is so bland and mundane and boring that the only relevant information you gain from watching that is the girl gets an Ant-Man suit.
Oh yeah, the Wasp.
Her mom, who
Or
was
not Wasp.
trapped in the quantum realm, was now brought back to the normal realm, and he gets stuck in the quantum realm. That's it. That's all you learn from it. The rest of it is bullcrap.
I fell asleep when we watched it for the first time
Yeah.
at the drive-in.
That's disappointing. Well, anyway, so like the quantum physics stuff, what Ant-Man had to say about it, it was like, oh yeah, they had to say it from a layman's terms because like, you know, it's a difficult subject matter. But then when Tony was like, it's impossible, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, and literally it sounded like he just started spatting out scientific jargon. He said Planck length. He said subatomic particles. He said, I think he even said Schwarzschild radius. I'm like, literally the writer just said everything that's quantum terminology. They'll just understand it. And I'm like, this is really shitty. I did not like it. Was I don't know. It really bothered me. I don't expect anyone to try and be scientifically accurate, but I at least, Rick and Morty is more scientifically accurate than everything that happened in that fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? It's
Also,
just
there's like hundreds of gazillions of plot holes with the movie. But
I know.
I mean,
but
they with time travel and everything, but they constantly tell you, oh, don't even worry about time travel. Like this death is permanent. Let's constantly remind the viewer that everything we say in our world is true because we say it and not because time travel mechanics.
right.
They're basically constantly reminding you that regardless of how time travel works or how you think it works, this is how it works in this movie, and whatever we decide is true is the truth, and you just have to
Right.
accept it as that.
Yeah.
They constantly tell you that, oh no, she's dead for good. Oh no, we can't go back in time. Oh no, we have to return the Infinity Stone. Oh no, we have to, you know what I mean? Like, they're constantly having somebody say time travel, and then somebody else saying rebuttal. And that's like half of the movie. It's somebody
Yeah.
saying, wait, we have time travel, and somebody saying, it doesn't work that way, bro. And that's it.
Yeah.
Also, like, just like the whole like, oh, let me just shrink down and then reappear in the correct time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so on that, right? They have it has been tested that we can send a particle back in time a couple seconds, right? We're talking years, dude. And they there was literally nothing explained about how they stop them in that flow of time, how they get them back. They just showed Ant-Man as a baby, which I didn't find that scene funny at all. I was like, he's just.
I like what he said though.
What did he say?
Somebody peed my pants. I don't know if it was baby me or old me
I did
or
like
just
that.
me.
Yeah. Okay, well, who was the MVP of this movie, you guys think? Opinion, doesn't matter. Let's just hear it.
Captain Marvel. She blew up that whole spaceship. That was fucking cool.
Oh, you got me onto my touchy subject. Okay.
Oh, I love Captain
Jacqueline?
Marvel, but she was not here enough during this movie. Otherwise, things would have been too easy, I guess.
Yeah.
That's true.
I guess.
She's literally the Superman of the Marvel universe. She has so much power that it's ridiculous, and that's why they intentionally left her out. I mean, obviously, this is titled The Avengers,
Right.
and so the two main there's everybody else is a side character, but the two main characters of this film are Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like, you saw Captain America fighting himself in the past, and when you look at that, you go, wow, this is a cool fight. Ha ha ha, look at how they can beat each other up. But if Captain Marvel went back in time and fought Captain America and got the Infinity Stone or whatever, then it would be easy. All she would do was shoot him down, and he would be knocked out. Like, it would be simple. They wouldn't have to do all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain heroes who were better suited for the tasks that they set for themselves in the past, but they didn't use those heroes. They used the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. In an unexpected twist for me, I don't know about MVP as far as like who won the war against Thanos, but personal favorite character was Captain America, which is odd for me because I usually don't care about Captain. He's usually just like whatever. He's there. He's neutral. But I liked the completion of his story arc a lot, and I think out of nowhere he got like he kept the same personality, but they actually gave him some interesting things to say with it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And yeah, the whole story arc that he went through with the ending and all was like, oh, right in the feels. That was the only part of the movie that made me like even mildly sad. Not sad, but like, melancholic.
Yeah.
I would say the characters that actually won the war. If we're talking about actual MVP, like these characters actually won the war for Earth, I guess you could say it was the Avengers, like all of the Avengers,
Yeah.
minus Thor, maybe. Maybe the best thing that Thor did was give Captain America Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
just
didn't
make a
actually win
tornado.
any fights.
Hmm?
Why didn't he just make a tornado?
I said at least he didn't just make a tornado.
True.
He still helped.
Hey, you could have.
But yeah, like, I guess the MVPs were the Avengers, but mostly Iron Man, I guess. Because
Yeah.
he actually did it. He fucking did it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that because Tony found out the correct way to go back in the past. Tony found a way to design a glove that can handle the power of all the Infinity Stones.
2 of them.
He
He made
created
2 of them.
Did he really?
His glove that,
Oh, yeah.
that was connected to his suit could use the Infinity Stones.
That's
and the gauntlet that
right.
he designed for the Hulk that Thanos used or tried
That's
to
right.
use.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that to me, MVP goes to Tony, and he went all the way. He did what a hero's supposed to, and he put everyone else before himself, and that's why I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
also glad with his like completed arc too. And traditionally, I'm an Iron Man guy, and I was happy with him. I'm like, that's good. He lived his life. He had had a family. That's a bummer, but he seems content. And that was all good. But the biggest disappointment was definitely the Big Lebowski Thor. Past 5 minutes of him.
Yeah.
Also, is he going to be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Also,
I guess he's the captain
future
now.
Gamora that doesn't know anyone, so there's gonna be like 10 minutes of like, whoa, who are we?
Yeah.
Can I
Well-
also? Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, he or she didn't know them and she disappeared. So, like, I guess that's what they're doing is looking for Gamora in the next movie? Question mark.
Oh. I didn't realize she disappeared. I thought everybody was on that ship with them.
She wasn't there actually. Wasn't he like looking for her or something? Like he was searching her up on some kind of
Yeah.
alien database or something. And then all of a sudden Thor
Yeah.
walked in. He switched to the map.
You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice
so.
that.
Well, I got eagle eyes. Also, speaking of eagles, Falcon is the next Captain America. I knew that was coming because I read the comics.
Yeah.
But so his new outfit actually looks good. I mean, his current outfit looks stupid. So
Yeah.
Also Eagle.
being red, white, and
America.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Come on.
Do you want to hear my choice
Let's hear it.
character? I don't think this is MVP, but I felt like the person I most enjoyed watching of the heroes in this movie was like Ant-Man. Because,
Said it.
I mean, he's just kind of like a guy. I mean, some of the heroes are like all powerful or like an actual god or a super genius. But some of them are just people, like Hawkeye or Black Widow or, plenty of others, including Ant-Man. But, he's the only one that actually just acts like a guy that you might know. Not like Hawkeye, who's like, oh, my family, I must avenge them, and he's all super serious, and, they're all too serious. Ant-Man was just, like, chilling out and trying to help.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his presence.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Is that anybody's Peter's peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah. You know that must have been improv, and it felt so good.
I know, right? Or maybe they started up the peanut butter sandwich from the very beginning just to give to Ant-Man in the next scene. Who knows?
I mean, it's possible, but I like that attention to detail too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Captain America got to live his happy life out
yeah.
and become
Yeah.
old and see Tony's funeral for the second time.
Oh, that must have been rough.
I know. But he seemed pretty content.
Dude, imagine living your whole life remembering the day that you're supposed to show up and sit on that bench, and then sitting on that bench all day until they realize that, you know, he's
You're
there,
there.
and not coming back. Like, he must have sat on that bench all smug, ready to say nothing for so long.
He had that plan for a bit. He's like, watch, I'm gonna go back in the past, and I ain't coming back.
Captain America just wanted to like be with his girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He finally got that chance. So.
Oh, I had an issue with Captain Marvel. Like,
Oh, tell me.
and
Is it at the very end?
no, actually, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So it's for obvious reasons why this was designed this way, and I also hadn't watched the Captain Marvel movie because I hadn't gotten around to it.
The
And
Captain Marvel movie is way better than Captain Marvel was portrayed in this movie for sure.
Really? Okay, that's promising then. But the way that they made her out to be was, you, the viewer. Let's just imagine that, like, a lot of the viewers were like me and they didn't get a chance to watch every single movie, right? You, the viewer, you're sitting in this thing. You know your Hulks and your Iron Mans and Captain Americas, and you're like, oh, I love these guys. Those Avengers, that's cool. And then this lady walks up and she's like, I'm a badass. You're like, wait, who is this? I'm Captain Marvel. And also, you guys couldn't have done shit without me. It's like, you're kind of being a little cocky. I mean, I understand that you're really powerful, but you got to reel it back here. And even Rhodey, a regular dude with a back issue, just calls her like, well, where the hell were you? Like all this time. Oh, I was saving the rest of the galaxy. It's like, okay, well, regardless, you're now showing up, and we've been doing this shit for years. So, like, that really rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, why is she talking like that? And so at the end, which I didn't expect Thanos to be able to do much to her when they were fighting, but I was kind of like, dude, I want to see an actual fight scene. And all I saw was her. I don't really know what I saw, really. It was just like, that fight could have been replaced with any other character. You know what I'm saying? Like, any other character could have jumped at him. No one could have broken a ship, but any other character could have, like, jumped at Thanos and tried to tussle with him, you know, give him a purple nurple or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It felt so disingenuous and shoehorned. I'm like, and that's not really a good impression for someone like me who's never seen that movie before, you know?
What, Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a really good movie.
I'm definitely going to watch it based off your guys' recommendations, like, for sure. And it would also help me fill in the holes for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
My problem is that if Nick Fury knew they were fighting Thanos, which I don't know if he knew or if he just didn't know anything at all, but, you know, a whole bunch of shit was happening around the entire planet and people were, like, getting killed and shit. And yet he didn't call Captain Marvel until he was getting disintegrated. You know?
oh, see, I didn't know that, and that makes it even worse.
And she's the most powerful hero in the Marvel MCU. Like,
Wait, so what about
Marvel
Nova
MCU.
from the Nova Corps?
I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel is like completely replacing Nova.
Oh, that's sad.
Also, Captain Marvel is just ridiculously powerful. She's like I said, like Superman. She's basically impervious. She can shoot like blasts out of her body, and she can just fly through shit and just destroy it instantly. She's ridiculously powerful.
So you could argue that she was the MVP, even though she didn't really do much.
I guess so.
I mean,
I guess you could
it's more
argue
like-
that she was.
It's more like arguing, is she the strongest character or did she help the most? I don't know if she helped the most. You know what I mean? Because they, like I said, they couldn't really have her in this movie too much or else all the problems would just go away in an instant.
That
Yeah.
and also like you could say that she helped the most, as in helped the rest of the galaxy.
Yeah, but how do you help the rest of the galaxy when everyone has been experiencing the same stuff? Like, Earth seemed to have been just fine. They got together, they did their little talk groups and said, "I miss my family, me too." That's awesome. You know, I'm going to assume that the rest of the aliens out there had to do the same thing. You know, I don't know.
That's true, but like civilization's crumbling, and there's a whole bunch of civilizations out there that she cares about, that she wants to help them in their trying times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't even know if Hulk had the capacity of knowledge to know to replace all the people who were disintegrated in the entire in the entire universe. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like maybe he only thought to bring people back on Earth.
Yeah.
So
Or is it enough to just think like, this is one of those weird like genie wish things? So the stone's out to get you with some weird clauses. Like, could he just think, bring back everyone that Thanos did away with his last snap and it worked? Or would that just be like, well, only people you know, haha, and then he got duped.
Oh.
well, the whole entire time they were like, just remember, bring everyone back, and don't change anything. So he was really thinking about what to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, here's a giant plot hole for you guys. Why the fuck did 5 years later Spider-Man go back to school?
Right?
And his friend is still in high school. And you could say, oh, well, maybe it's college. Well, why the fuck are they like in like a checkered hallway surrounded by tons of other students and wearing backpacks?
And
And
lockers and
also, fucking, like, it's been 5 years. He should be graduated.
Dog.
Like, no other high school in the entire world is gonna be like at least 5 or 6 years. Every high school is 4 years long. Okay, 5 years, he's already out of high school. All right.
Oh, imagine all the paperwork that we'd have to do for everybody who was gone those 5 years.
I'm sure they didn't do any paperwork. They're like, half the people who were supposed to do paperwork just disappeared. That's why society was crumbling.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Anyways, let's move on to our next topic,
Let's do it.
guys. I want to talk about relationships in video games, like characters that are in love or just like best friends that while you're playing a game, you're like, oh man, this person's awesome. Relationships, but you can do it with all your characters and everybody can become best friends and you can uncover dialogue and learn things about characters through relationships with other characters.
Yeah.
Especially in Fire Emblem Awakening, you can get two characters together and make a baby that just immediately is grown up because you're in the future
How convenient.
or something.
Because time travel?
Wait, I'm
Ant-Man?
confused. Ant-Man? Did they shrink and then reappear in the right time?
Were they
Wait, but
trying
then
to be adults, but then they were little boy Ant-Man?
Wait, can you just send them through time? Like, could I just get my baby and throw them into a time portal and have them as a fully grown adult in an instant?
I feel like they would still retain the mentality of a child because they had nowhere to learn.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
That's true.
that's a good mind thinker though. Wait, no, that's not the right term.
Yeah, man.
That's a good mind thinker though.
That's a good brain twister.
My favorite game of all time that I like, where you can have good relationships with people, is Persona 5.
Yeah, boy.
And like, you can date everyone if you want, but you can date like one girl. But if you do date everybody, then I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but like, you know, on Valentine's Day, your girlfriend shows up. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who. So if you're dating everyone, all your girlfriends will show up. So
Nice.
Dude,
Tell
are
them
they
I got
okay
a
with
table
that?
for 5.
no, there's way more than that, dude. There's so
Oh.
many girls.
Grill.
Can I say something about Persona 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the games that I played that like you can have relationships in, and it made me kind of like sad that you couldn't have gay relationships because there's always that like if there's a choice like that and you can't choose the gender of the main character, then you're always gonna have some people disappointed. Like my favorite character in that game that was a peer was like a boy, and I was a boy, so it kind of sucked. I wish that they added storylines, like more options in that regard. Like, I'd rather be able to romance Yusuke or Ryuji rather than like my own high school teacher.
Ooh. No,
Like,
I do
how
get your
is
point,
that
though.
allowed? That's like screwed up, but you can't even romance a boy. Like, come on.
Something that's even more screwed up is in Persona 3 Portable. If you choose to be the female protagonist, you can romance the elementary school boy.
What the hell?
What? No.
Yeah, that's like the reverse of like Persona 5 dating your teacher.
I hate Atlas now.
I hate Atlas. I mean, I love that like in these kinds of games, when you get a girlfriend or a wife or husband or whatever, you get these bonuses, right? Like, if you are like married, I guess that's how it works in Fire Emblem Awakening. You just go from like chatting every day to immediately married.
Yup.
Yeah.
Then like you have like your percentage chances of like defending each other while paired up in combat are like almost basically 100%, which literally makes those units invincible.
Yeah.
In Persona 5, when you are maxed confidant rank with somebody, then they're like you're about to take a fatal blow and they'll be like, "No, Joker," and jump in front of you and take a hit.
Wow.
And also, if you're like frozen or if you're confused or something, they'll like hit you with a little like paper fan and like knock you out of it or something. I really like that. I really like when you're playing a video game and become best friends with somebody or get married or have a girlfriend or whatever, and it boosts the gameplay. Like, oh man, I'm so glad Makoto's my girlfriend because she gave me these donuts that gives everybody 100 SP.
Donuts sound pretty good right now too.
I
I
never
wish I
used
had
them
Makoto
because
as my girlfriend.
I only had one. I didn't want to get rid of them. I wouldn't have them anymore.
Do you get items in like a Fire Emblem game when you're like really good friends with them? Do they give you stuff?
No, I don't
They
think
give you a-
so. It's just
I
the
think-
bonuses when they're paired up.
Yeah. Oh, and a high five. That one too.
And a firmer handshake.
When I played Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life,
Oh,
I
that game.
always I always went for like the brown-haired girl. But
Me too.
Then one time I went for the blonde-haired girl and I was like, wow, this girl's
Okay,
way
Cecile
easier.
and Muffy.
Muffy. I was like, Muffy is has actually like more interesting events.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nami. Sorry.
Oh, she's red.
No, Nami's a pain in the butt, dude. I'm not gonna get up at 5 a.m. and not water my crops and go immediately to go talk to her. F that.
Dude, I did.
I got a fucking farm to run, dude. This old man's not gonna have anything to pick up from my box if I don't fill it up.
Oh,
Had
just
work
drop
for
a
the old
mushroom
man.
every week or something, man. You got a girl to take care of. And then once she gives you a kid, wait a couple years, and then he can take care of the farm. You know what you can do? You can go down to the bar. That
Oh
town-
yeah, that's the thing. That's the special thing in that game. Like, you get married, you have a kid, and then they take care of the farm.
Yep.
Stardew Valley, you can have your husband or wife take care of the farm as well.
A little.
A little bit. Don't get carried away, all right?
Do they? I thought
Remember.
they just stood there. And we're like,
They'll
They can do-
a couple.
A couple tasks, yeah.
And it's
Oh.
random. It's not controllable. They'll be like, "Hey, you look tired, so I watered the crops today." It's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I see.
thanks. I mean, I already have all sprinklers and automated farm at this point in the game since I married you, but thanks."
when,
Yeah. Don't forget them sprinklers, okay?
Oh
That's
my
important.
gosh.
that is
Jesse.
important.
Hey, I've
Oh,
started
yeah.
using them, okay? I am much better at farming now that I have sprinklers. I admit it.
Good.
I-
You save time and energy too, don't you?
I just like the sound and the controller input of adjusting yourself just slightly to like just pixel perfect so that you're no longer in the right side lane, you're on the left side. And then you go I love that noise. And that's why I water by hand cuz I like the
Yeah, but that tool becomes completely useless once you have sprinklers. It's kind of like there's certain things in games like that where some things just become obsolete once you get the better thing. You can skip it completely. Like in Minecraft, you need to make a wooden pickaxe, but you don't need to make a stone. You don't need to make a wooden shovel. You just go straight for the stone shovel, or go straight for the stone axe.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, once you get that wooden pickaxe, yeah, absolutely.
And now that they updated combat, you don't need a sword. You just need an axe.
Or shield.
Or both.
Just go
Or two
pacifist
axes.
Minecraft.
Yes.
What's your guys' like? What's other cool like things you get from video games, from like becoming best friends or like dating or marrying?
In The Witcher, you usually just have like a walk of shame afterwards. It's pretty funny. Like not
Wait, what?
like if you go and romance any of the like side characters, or if you just go to like a brothel, then Geralt just sort of wakes up the next morning and he has like a particularly grumpy expression and is mildly unclothed, and then he just like walks slowly for 10 seconds before you can do anything.
Wow.
It really lets you have it.
You really
There is
feel connected.
There is in Fallout 4 when you become best friends with your. I know Fallout 4 is not that great, but
Still
you become best
enjoyable.
friends with your like companions, or like marry them or whatever, you like date them, whatever, however it works. You get like a perk, like a specific perk for each thing. You can also have sex with them, which gives you a buff, I think.
Nice. You know, I don't think I can think of any other games besides we've noted, like Fire Emblem. I haven't played Persona, or what's that game that
play
we just
Persona.
Geralt's game, Witcher 3.
The Witcher.
Witcher 3. The Geralt scheme.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, when I think about it, like, I don't ever really go for the relationships unless it's Donnell and the dancer girl Olivia in Awakening. That's really the only thing I have to talk about, because like once I found out about Donnie's ability, the aptitude I think it's called, and then the double move, or what is the ability that Olivia gets? Well, anyway.
I forget what it's called, but you get a second turn.
Yeah, that's what it is. And when their kid has both of those, I think that's value. When your stats raise significantly because of the first skill from Donnie, and then being able to move twice each turn, meaning you can get more experience. Like, I see. That's really the only benefits or things I can talk about in relationships. Other than that, I liked Orochi from Fire
Fates?
Emblem Birthright.
Yeah.
She was cool. I also like Kaguru. I thought she was really sweet because she had like that hard exterior, and the more you got to know her, she was like, actually, I'm really sweet. I'm like, oh, you really are. Let's marry. And let's see. Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, the only other like relationships in video games I think of are Pokemon, but those aren't really relationships. They're just battle units that can mate. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing.
Battle units. That's one way to look at Pokemon. I
There's-
mean, if you have maximum friendship, return does decent damage.
That's
Yeah,
one
it's like
move,
80 or
though.
something, right? 90?
I think it's
90,
100
yeah.
actually.
Oh, damn. That's why Kangaskhan. Okay, dude. There's a whole nother world.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 100, which yeah. But that's it. That's really all. That's my knowledge. I mean,
Who'd you
Harvest
date?
Moon, huh?
Who'd you date in Stardew Valley?
No one, dude. I don't date anyone.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't like Haley. I don't think Abigail is like personality
Haley
wise.
was my girlfriend or wife or something.
Really, I thought she was rude, so I just said no. And I didn't want to get to know her after that. Then there was Penny.
She is rude, but then she becomes nicer to you, and then once you get close to her, she's just an idiot. So I kind of regret it.
Oof. Sorry, dude.
Oh, wow, that's screwed up.
Well, I thought,
Sorry.
oh man, she's mean. You know what? It's gonna be really rewarding when she becomes my girlfriend. She'll be like the coolest or the nicest or something. No, she's just stupid.
Yeah.
Rip.
Although Maru, if I were to choose to date anyone, it'd either be Maru or what's that guy's name? what's the regal looking guy who lives on the beach? The writer.
Oh,
Elliot.
Elliot. Yeah. Those would be the two that I would date.
Could it have anything to do with his hair?
Yeah, all of it. I like his hair so much.
Looks
I kind of want to be
familiar.
him. It's not a big deal.
I just,
You know, vanity is a sin.
I don't have that hair anymore anyway, so
I'm just saying.
I date him because it makes me feel like I still do. I'm not over it.
Carry on my legacy, Elliot.
Please let our
Dude.
child not be bald.
Yeah. My mom married the musician dude.
Which one's
I
that?
forget his name. He's I don't even know.
There's a musician?
So I hear.
Wait. Musician dude from Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Half of my
Uh,
Stardew experience is living vicariously through my mom.
Hey, mine too. My mom plays the
She's
shit
like
out of that
200
game.
hours deep.
Dude.
She did everything.
Like, my
Wow.
mom has over 600 hours clocked on that game, and I'm like, Mom, that's more than that's.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
That's more than I've played Persona 5.
It's like I think it's great. I'm like, hey, it's a game you like, and then I see her like playing it, and I see, oh, it's because she's reset her game like 7 times. She's like, I don't like the way I
my
did it this
God.
time. I'm like, Mom, that's
Wow.
like 200 hours of work. Yeah, I know. Mom. But yeah. Who is the musician guy? I want to know now.
Is that
Sorry.
Shane or
Sure. Let's
is it the guy who's like a slob and mean at the beginning?
Saying Stardew.
Shane's the alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Harvey,
Shane.
the doctor?
Was Harvey a musician secretly?
He was maybe blonde.
Blonde.
Oh, Sam! When the heck?
Yeah.
Why did I not remember that it was Sam?
I forgot he plays. What was that like?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
that's the
guitar or
one.
something, right?
Yeah.
And my
He
mom
just
was
sits
like,
in his room and goes, "Dong."
yeah. She was like, he was
Bing,
cool.
bing, bing.
And then she married him, and then she was like, I'm gonna get married, and then he'll do work around the farm. It's gonna be efficient. And it's gonna be great. And then she's like, it's more work having a husband because I have to take care of him as well as the rest of the
Yeah.
farm.
She picked the
Because-
She
laziest
should
guy
know.
in
She's
town.
married already in real life.
It's true. But she was like, dog, I go around, I'm pregnant, and he's like, oh, you're pregnant, huh? You should probably get some rest. And she's like, but you're not doing anything. What good are you for, huh? And then she wanted to divorce him, but she didn't know if she could.
I think you can.
That's screwed up.
Reset.
Like, she has a worse home life in Stardew Valley than she does in real life. That is so screwed up.
I mean, I'd rather it be that way.
I know, but like usually in video games, it's like, oh, you can have a perfect catered experience. So you can really
That's true.
enjoy your virtual life over your real life. But it's the reverse for her. It's like good that way, but also, how does that even happen?
You want to know something funny? When I first started playing Stardew Valley, I instantly fell in love with one of the characters and went to romance them, and then I found out that they weren't romanceable
Was it
because
Ken?
it turned out being Pierre's wife. Sorry,
Oh.
Pierre.
Oh,
Carolyn with the green hair. I was like,
you wanted Pierre's wife.
hi, and then she's,
Aw.
yeah, I wanted his wife.
Who's
I was
to
giving her
steal-
the eye,
steal his
and he
girl.
was like, you know what? We're closed on Wednesdays from now on.
You're driving this man out of business.
See,
Well-
I wanted to
go ahead.
marry what's her name? The woman who always asked for cauliflower in like the first season. She's like, I need a cauliflower. Can you get it for me? I'm like, sure.
Oh, which one's cauliflower lady? How the heck should I know?
I just started farming, man. Like,
But she lives in the house, bottom left corner of the map of like the town map. If that makes sense when I say that, like it's just that house on the very bottom left.
Penny?
No, Penny's the school
Leah?
teacher. Leah's
Leah
the
with the braid?
Yeah, but isn't she the
Emily. The blue hair.
No, I think it's Brown.
Abigail.
No, it's Leah.
No,
the
no.
girl who lives underneath the farm, like below the farm.
No, not her. No, it's not that far. So like just like right when you walk in the right from the farm area, it's that house right there. It's still in the town square
wait.
area.
She's married, isn't she?
Yeah, to Kent, I think. But I wanted to marry her. I was like, oh, she got kids too?
Yeah,
I'll take care of them.
Her husband's like deployed in the military.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hey,
He's trying
He's
to
not
make her
joking.
unfaithful.
I was not. I didn't know he was even in the picture. And then he's like, hey, man, can you get me a star fruit? And I'm like,
Oh, okay,
It was
sure,
awkward when he
dude.
came back.
hey,
You
I
didn't know he was in the picture, and she has 2 kids.
they can
And
be
the
a
one,
single
and
mom.
Vincent's always like, I hope Daddy comes back soon. I miss my daddy. And you're like,
I thought he
oh
died.
yeah,
Daddy
your
now."
daddy. I hope he dies so I can have your
messed up.
mommy.
I didn't hope.
He's
I
like,
literally thought
"I'll be
they
your
were just
dad."
pushing. Yeah, I will take care of you. You don't gotta miss your dad anymore. I can do it. You want to play ball in the back? Let's do it. I got the ball right here. Get a glove. Let's go.
You know what? I'll walk you to the museum every day for your class.
Yeah.
I love
Son
you,
of a
son.
dad.
What? I mean, Vincent.
Yeah, and then Kent comes back and he's like, I saw some things that I shouldn't have. Can I have a star fruit? And you're like, yeah, sure, I guess. All right.
You know, that really, talking about it now, that really puts in perspective that not a lot of games make your wife / husband / girlfriend / boyfriend useful.
Yeah.
If
It's
not
kind of just like,
hindrance.
oh, I want them to be my boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and then you just choose them, and then after that, you're like, well, what now?
Well, I mean, Musty is useful, and she's kind of your girlfriend, right? She can see
Yes.
things you can't.
They just give you a girlfriend right off the bat without a choice.
Speaking of that,
Oh yeah.
I realize how dated the dialogue of this game is, because I don't know if you guys have been feeling it, but it's like everybody in the game is like really sexually charged, and I don't understand why. Like,
I agree. Like, oh, you're cute. You're cute. Oh, too bad your girlfriend's so serious. Oh, hey, how's it going, hot boy that I love?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to have sex with me? Like, what the hell's going on in this Pokemon game?
it
Fucking
freaks me
every
out.
single girl you talk to says, "Hey, cutie," or you're like,
Or they'll say stuff like
You go
little
into,
boy, and they're like, you can tell it's insinuating stuff. You're like, okay, this is a kid's game, man.
Man.
you go into the mayor's house and you go up a room and you see like shorts or like underwear laying on the bed, and she's like, "Ooh, hey, cutie," and you're like, "Wait, are you banging the mayor and now you want to bang me? What the heck's going on?"
Or like, there's a trainer in Pyrite City who every time you talk to her, she like shit talks Musty. It's like, oh, your girlfriend's a wallflower, and you're like, leave her out of this, man. Like, I didn't even ask to have her as my girlfriend. They just said, hey, you guys are
Right.
cute together, and you're like, wait, what? She just sees shadow Pokemon. That's all. That's all our relationship is. You like walk around with your head down, like, Musty, please.
Yeah, Bubby, tell us about your game club experience with Pokemon Colosseum.
Let's hear
Dude. This game is so janky. Holy moly. I forgot moving around in old games feels so bad.
Oh, I know.
That's
Especially
what the world
that
has
game.
improved, is running animations.
Well, it has improved running animations in 3D, especially.
Yeah. 2D has been fine. Mario sliding along the ice of the world is fine with me. That's satisfying. How he just like shuffles those little hips along and then he slides around. That works. But this like weird walking not proportionate to the speed of my legs is killing me. The game's pretty okay though. I'm nostalgic of the
how you
3D
doing?
Pokemon experience because I was a big lover of Colosseum as a wee lad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Oh, what the heck?
Dude,
Okay,
Colosseum
next-
Did you,
2,
did you have any trouble like catching Pokemon?
it like it feels like the catch rates are different than the modern games for sure.
I agree with
But-
that.
I agree.
But it wasn't like awful. But I was just like, oh, you really gotta soften the boys up. You gotta pepper them. Gotta saute them a little bit before you throw the ball.
But my problem with peppering the boys, right,
Yeah.
is that Shadow Pokemon crit really easily,
Ugh, I know.
and it makes catching Pokemon a slog. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let me use Shadow Rush, Shadow Pokemon, and it goes, okay, crit, ha ha ha, I killed it in one hit, and you're like, okay,
I wanna
retry,
be happy
and
for
it's
you,
like,
but I
all right,
can't.
Shadow Rush, he goes, ha ha, okay, Fever Pitch, and you're like, oh, come on, dude, please, and then I'm like, oh, Noctowl, why don't you use Hypnosis? And he goes, ah, sure, dude, after my Fever Pitch, dog. It's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I have footage. I don't think it made it into the last podcast episode where I put the game in, the game footage in. But
Yeah.
it is literally me going, use Shadow Rush, and both Pokemon go into Fever Pitch, and then calling both their names, and then saying use Shadow Rush, and they both go into Fever Pitch, and I call their names. I clear out their entire heart gauge without them even attacking once.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
is this RNG or is this like guaranteed?
Also, I
What
don't
the hell's
like
going
the
on?
like kind of arid desert setting alongside with the like we're in the future. Like it feels like it wanted to be Jack and Daxter.
You
I
know,
agree,
when you
especially
say
with the
that-
motorcycle, right?
Yeah, the motorcycles are really I'm like, dude, where's my little boy bicycle? Not even Pokemon Rangers have this.
Pokemon Ranger was good.
Oh, dude.
I did enjoy those games. I really did.
I wish
be
we
the
were playing
first to say.
Pokemon Ranger right now.
Except fuck Salamence.
Oh, I didn't like Charizard. Catching Charizard was difficult.
Salamence was way harder. You had to like circle him like 51 times, and he did 99 damage if he hit your thing. So he literally hits you twice,
Wow.
and he's constantly moving.
Dude, I think
Constantly.
I've destroyed a DS screen playing that game.
Yeah.
I think that was the end of that particular DS Lite. Like it was already sort
I
of on
feel like-
death's door, but I really did it to him.
I feel like a lot of people did that with Pokemon Ranger, and I think that's why they're never gonna make Pokemon Ranger ever again.
Yeah.
I should do it, but like
I mean, it wouldn't
with the Joy-Con.
It wouldn't be too bad if they did it on a modern system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, because
even
since the
on
Switch
mobile.
doesn't have a capacitive touchscreen, it has the good one, or it does have a. My
Yes.
brain is dying. Which
has
one is the
capacitive,
squishy
yes.
one? Resistive.
Wait, DS has the squishy one.
Yeah.
Resistive.
Yeah. Since it does have the capacitive touchscreen, it would, and especially if you have a screen protector on there, it's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
the DS
Yeah.
couldn't handle that sort of living.
Yeah.
What else have you experienced with Pokemon Colosseum? And the reason I ask is because like I have a story, but I'll tell it later. I'm pretty far in the game, and I'm about, I want to say 6 to 8 hours left in it until I like completed the game. Not like 100%, but like finishing to the main screen credits roll, that sort of thing. So,
yeah,
like- Yeah.
I'm pretty neutral on it so far. I'm enjoying the Pokemon experience since it's like this is different. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the weird sort of like I don't really like the world that it's in, but it's cool that
Me
it's
either.
like there's these little Pokemon that I know in like Mad Max town, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting when you throw a snatch ball or whatever. It's a snag ball.
Yeah.
Or snatch ball.
Snag.
Okay. And it looks like a whole bunch of like fingers reaching out and like taking the Pokemon.
I love that.
Like that's the animation of it. It's really cool.
It's satisfying.
It's like you're grabbing
Yeah.
their Pokemon and taking it away.
Yeah, you know, I love being a bad man. And
But you're not a bad man. You're a reverse bad man. You're a bad man who fights the bad men.
yeah, vigilante Pokemon, dude. The premise is actually pretty good. I wish they did a modern retelling of the story idea without the same sort of weird like dissonance between the world and the characters.
Does anyone
Yeah.
else like find it like weird that maybe sometimes when you use a move that's not very effective or use a move that's super effective, it just doesn't tell you?
Yes, I've noticed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Does anyone find it weird that like Machop looks like a goblin in this game?
Does anybody else find it weird that like when you're in your running animation, you stop moving, it kind of like looks like your character goes in rewind until they're in their standing position?
Really, I didn't notice
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, instead of just like stopping altogether, their arms and legs slowly move down as if you're rewinding the animation until they're in their neutral position.
That's funny.
Until Will Smith is like, it's rewind time, y'all. And then
Oh,
You're good to go.
puppy.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to add about this game?
Jacqueline?
Nope.
I actually have a lot to say, and I promise it won't be like long. I will
Okay.
give you bite-sized bits of it. Okay. So, they did. I don't know where or when in the coding they decided that this would be an okay thing for a children's game, and I'm going to emphasize this, okay? Because you start off with level 25s, you move out through the game, you level them up, you catch level 30s, and then there's just a spike in difficulty that I do not understand why it is so freaking difficult. Like, there's a part in the game where you gotta fight an admin, like, it's whatever, right? And their levels are just almost double where you're at. And you're like, how the fuck do they expect me to beat this? Because all the trainers that you have to fight up to that point, you've already defeated, and the refightable ones are too low for you to get a, actually, I can't think of the word for it, but you don't get enough experience each time you do it. It's just not worth it. And so you go to fight
Right.
this person, and they're just ridiculously strong. You're like, I don't understand. Why? Okay. But then, kind of like what you were talking about with the frustration with like catching Pokemon in the crits, there was one match. I was just raising Shadow Pokemon because I'm like, you know what? I got time. Let's just do it. Let's break open some hearts or something. And they, the start of the match, I'm like, I do want to work on their hearts, so we'll just Shadow Rush. Both of them go into Fever Pitch. I'm like, that's not so bad. I'll keep one so I can crit, and I'll keep one to get back. So I call, and I Shadow Rush, boom, knock one out. I go to Shadow Rush again, another Hyper Mode. I'm like, okay. Called the other one. Then I said, I actually don't want this person, so I'll call them again. Double call. Do a Shadow Rush again. Both of them go in, and then the RNG for the opponent's side, they kept getting crits, so they kept knocking them out. I'm just like, what is going on? Why are the values like this? I just don't understand. And then
Yeah, it feels almost stacked against you.
yeah, and then like what you were talking about earlier, Bubby, when you catch Pokemon, the catch rates aren't the same at all. Like there's what Pokemon did you catch early? Like Noctowl, for example. That Pokemon isn't exceedingly difficult to catch. Or Slugma, dude. I had the hardest time catching Slugma, and I don't understand. I'm like, this is literally just a regular wild Pokemon. Why is it so fucking hard? I think I fought the guy like over 10 times, and each time I'm just like, gotta reset. And I'm laying in my bed, so I'm like really disgruntled the fact that I have to get out of my bed, walk to my computer, hit escape, close it down, open it back up, and then try again. I'm like, I'm not happy with this. But overall, the game has been really fun, very nostalgic, and without really like spoiling much at all, because there's not much story-wise going on, in my opinion. It's literally just,
I agree.
hey, there's Shadow Pokemon, gotta go catch them. You used to be on that team, snag them. Yeah, well now you're not. Oh, and then you're confronted about it by a bunch of bad guys. Then your girlfriend Musty says, don't worry about it, you're good. Like, you're on our side now. And you're like, what?
Oh yeah, she's like, yeah, they're like, remember when you were on Team Snag'em and you were the best catch like stealer in all of Snag'em's history, and we all know your name and we think you're really cool, but you're our enemy now. And she's like, wow, really? And you're like, yeah. She's like, oh well, you're my best friend and boyfriend now.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Like, wait, what? You're okay with this?
Dude, you even go meet her grandparents. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
hey, what's up, grandparents? This is my friend. He saved me. And they're like,
Oh, I'm so happy. Are you two getting hooked up?
it's like, what the fuck, guys?
Even the grandparents are like, are you gonna give us some children? I want to have a grandson.
I've been invested in this for quite some time, my boy.
Yeah. Well, that's my experience so far. I think kind of touching on the environment a little bit. No one looks like they're wearing clothes that are appropriate for where they're at.
Yep.
I agree.
Everyone
Except
is.
for maybe the main character. He got them goggles, you know?
He's got goggles and a
and
trench
leather.
coat. Yeah, a leather trench coat.
Yeah.
The other, like, there's this guy. I have the game up right now. I'm just kind of sitting idle in a stadium or whatever. And there's this guy who looks like he's just been to the gym. He's got a towel around him, but he's literally in a metal coated place. He's like, "What's up, guys? I just came for the gym," but he's in a metal box. So I don't understand. Like, it's just, yeah.
It's
All
just
right, guys.
wrong.
That's all we have today. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'll send us out this time since I've asked
Yay.
everybody once. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
What?
What was that?
Sorry, that's just all I had.